of war in Ukraine, and a new op-ed suggests now is the time for Ron DeSantis to take a clear and strong position. This from the Wall Street Journal. Quote, peace through weakness never works. Peace through strength does. And there's a huge political opening for the candidate willing to take it. Criticized Mr. Biden for the foreign policy weakness that emboldened Mr. Putin to invade in the first place, and for his dawdling on getting Ukraine real firepower. Joining us now with reaction is Fox News contributor Charlie Hurt. Charlie, thanks for being here. There's a real pitfall, though. Great to see you. Inside the Republican primary, if Ron DeSantis were to take a almost Biden-like approach to win the war in Ukraine, considering where Republican primary voters are and the stance that Donald Trump has taken as well.
Absolutely. And, you know, if you step back and think about it, it's a pretty low bar. You know, if your primary purpose for foreign policy purpose for running for president is that you want to engage in war in Ukraine, you ought to be able to explain it to the American people. You ought to be able to convince them. So it should be the first thing any politician does. And of course, Joe Biden has failed to do that. You know, you don't have to believe that there isn't any reason for us to be in Ukraine. The important thing is you need to get it's not a matter of whether or not the American people are on your side or not. It's, are you on the side of the American people? Yeah. And you need to get them to where you want to be. And Joe Biden has sort of thumbed his nose at it. The even bigger problem for Ron DeSantis, and I agree, it's sort of a touchy subject for him, or it has pitfalls, as you said, which is perfect. The real problem, of course, is that he's running against a guy who has dealt a master class in strength, peace through strength. Yes. And that was Donald Trump. Donald Trump's entire foreign policy, and this idea that people are trying to portray him as an isolationist. He wasn't an isolationist. He was the first president to go to North Korea. He negotiated with the crazy crackpot dictator there. He went to Mexico and said, look, Mexico, we give you a lot of foreign aid. If you don't stop these people coming across our border, we're going to quit giving you money. That's not isolationist. That's peace through strength. Yeah. And so you've got, Donald Trump standing here saying, look, this is a nightmare. We need to negotiate peace. I would argue that that's not isolationist, but it does present real pitfalls for Ron DeSantis, as you point out.
You mentioned Donald Trump, the front runner. Here's what he said on Tuesday about what's happening in Ukraine. Watch.
World War III has never been closer than it is right now. We need to clean house of all of the warmongers and America last globalists in the deep state, the Pentagon, the State Department, and the national security industrial complex.
Charlie, he knows it because he's seen it. And, you know, he rightly points out we didn't have any new wars under Biden administration. Vladimir Putin didn't invade Ukraine under Biden administration.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And of course, the only times that Vladimir Putin has invaded Ukraine, once was when he stole Crimea, and the other time is this current invasion. And both times it happened under Joe Biden's leadership. And Joe Biden, let's not forget, was head of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Yeah. A big reason why Obama picked him in the first place is because he was the reigning expert on foreign policy going back 50 years in Washington. But in reality, everything he touches turns to dirt. It's a disaster. And Trump has that knack for, pointing out the real frightening possibility. I will say this, it's kind of interesting, the reverse between the Iraq war and the Ukraine war. With Iraq, Democrat politicians were divided because, remember, John Kerry and Hillary Clinton, all of them voted for the war and then turned against it when it suited their politics. So the Democrat Party was very divided. This time, Republicans are the divided party, and it's going to present real problems for them.
There are very few wedge issues on the Republican side because Donald Trump has remade it so directly in his image. This will be one to watch.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Charlie Hurt, thank you for your analysis. We appreciate it.
Great to see you, bud.
Good to see you.